everyone, and welcome to this special Geek Bites episode of the
Geek Buddies. Hey! All right.
And today we are doing the trailer reaction for the first ever official trailer. We had a teaser trailer back in November for Avatar: The Last Airbender. This one coming to Netflix. Very excited to take a look at this one. As I said, I have not seen the series. I don't know much about it. These two gentlemen know much more about it than I do. I'll just give you a little background, then we'll have a conversation quickly before we watch the trailer. This story follows Aang, the young Avatar, as he learns to master the four elements to restore balance to a world here. And this one, apparently this trailer is going to focus a lot on Aang. Gordon Cormier playing the titular character of Aang. We're going to see special effects, some interesting stuff going on in this trailer. So very curious to take a look at it. Gentlemen, go with you, Michael. First, what are your thoughts before we watch this trailer? What are you hoping to see? What are you excited to see? What are your thoughts?
I am excited and scared. I'm excited and scared. A lot. I think that Avatar might be up there with like Star Wars as like the things that I love the most. And so this is we've had one go at the bat with a live action Avatar. It was not good. This one has been, lot of news behind the scenes on this one with the creators coming on board and then leaving and going back to Nickelodeon and starting Avatar Studios. So is this going to be as far as Netflix's live action adaptations go, is this going to be a One Piece or is it going to be a Cowboy Bebop? Like we're going to see, and I'm very nervous. In fact, hold on, I'm grabbing my support flying bison just to be ready for this. So we'll see. I'm scared, guys.
Shannon, this one also stars Daniel Day Kim, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee here, Ken Leung, Elizabeth Yu, Dallas Liu, and Kiawentiio, I hope I'm saying that right, and Ian Ousley. So playing all these iconic characters from the animated series. Your thoughts? We had a teaser trailer. We talked about it on the Geek Buddies before. What are your thoughts about what you want to see here or what you hope to see here in this official trailer?
I mean, the thing that you need to see for this, and granted, this is our first look at it, is you need to see the chemistry between the trio, between Aang, Sokka, and Katara, because that is the heart of the show. I think the casting of Paul Lee as Uncle Iroh is one of the most novel castings in forever. Like what a perfect actor for that role. Daniel Day Kim showing up as the Fire Lord. I mean, in terms of the adults, I think they've got it. But with the younger cast members, that's what I'm going to be curious about. And also, this is going to be a very effects heavy show. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what those effects look like as well. Yeah, and certainly, as we saw with Percy Jackson and the Olympians, what seems to be the narrative for some people who've seen the movie is that the kid cast is not as strong as the adult veteran cast. So hopefully we'll get a nice balance here with all the cast members delivering wonderful performances. Yeah, I can't say anything other than I want to be entertained. I hope I enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I know not a damn thing about this except there's four elements, and everybody loves this show. So that's what I know. So without further ado, let's get into this first trailer for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Strap in. Anything you want to say to preface this, Mike? I heard it.
No, let's do it. Let's go. Yep.
The Fire Nation is embarked on a dark path, and the world might never recover. The world needs the Avatar. It needs you, Aang.
The Fire Nation has destroyed everything in their path. If the world is going to have any chance, it's going to need Aang.
Right. There goes the savior of the world.
I've chased down every hint of the Avatar. It's my destiny.
I'm not someone who can stop the Fire Nation. I don't want the responsibility.
You don't have to do this alone. You have me, Tara, and a flying ball of fur. What more do you need?
The world needs you. remember what it is we're really fighting for. The ones we love.
I'm the Avatar, and I'm gonna save the world. With my friends.
To doom. All right, there's the first official trailer. As someone who's never seen anything of this and never watched an episode, I am 1,000,000% in after seeing that trailer. This does not feel like, let's just get a bunch of people together, do it on the cheap, and rely on cheesy dialogue and cheesy performances. No, there's a lot of respect, a lot of honor being given out here to the original source material. You can see a little bit of the anime acting into live action acting, which I think is a nice way of kind of calling back to that. But overall, the cinematography, the look of this, the action sequences we got overall, just for me as someone who's never seen the show or seen the animated series, I am 100% in on this. Michael, your thoughts?
All right. Yes. To everything you said. Yes. I mean, look, here's the good news. There's a lot of travesties when it comes to the other live action Avatar, but one of the travesties is that the bending just looked fucking stupid. Watching this trailer, the thing I can say 1,000% just based on the trailer is it really looks like they went all out to make the bending look as awesome as possible. Like that, you see, we see a little bit of air bending, a little bit of earth bending, a little bit of fire bending, a little bit of water bending, and it all looks the way that it should look, and it looks great. And just the entire world looks fully realized. Like, this is definitely a big budget. I mean, and again, I was just kind of comparing my love to Avatar to my love of Star Wars, but these environments, we see a brief glimpse of Umashu, we see the Fire Kingdom, we see all these places. It looks like Star Wars level CG as far as the building out of the worlds and everything. So that looks really, really good. If you are a fan of book 1 of Avatar, it doesn't really look like, I'm curious to see how they fit everything in, but the key things that we all love from book 1, you kind of see all of it there. You see Boomy right there at the end and the kingdom of Umashu. We see June, the bounty hunter riding on her Shirshu, Nyla. We see the blue spirit. So you see all of these key things that if you're a lover of book 1, you're like, okay, checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. The acting of the kids, I'm not 100% sold on with the few lines we got. It could go either way. I'm not they're saying the right stuff. The dialogue looked good, but the performances in the animated series are and to Shannon's point, the chemistry between those kids is key. And just based on the little bit of dialogue we got, it just made my spider sense tingle a little bit. It doesn't look quite as rough as some of the acting in those Percy Jackson's episodes has been, but it doesn't fill me with a ton of confidence. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I could contextually watch the episodes and go, you know what? This was fine. I really like this. But Katara being like, oh no, Aang's the one. I'm like, okay, maybe. I don't know. So that part makes me nervous, but just the to your point, John, the attention and reverence that this team clearly has of the source material has me excited.
Yeah, for sure. Shannon, a lot of great action sequences here, but also the story. This is a reluctant person to save the world, right? It isn't just like, yeah, give it to me. I'm going to learn the powers and do it. Again, for someone who hasn't seen the show, to me, this is all new. So I kind of got that coming out of this, that these are the beats that I've seen before and other things. I liked some of the special effects. What did you think of the performances, the action sequences, and the look of this overall, and the storytelling within this trailer?
So looking at this tiny little screen on my computer, visually it is stunning. We'll see what it looks like on our larger televisions, but at this angle, visually, it is absolutely stunning. I love the design of the Fire Nation ships. I feel like they've actually kind of plussed it a little bit. I mean, the Fire Nation is very industrial, and they've actually added some. It looked like that, like a dragon face. I mean, that's stuff that I don't remember.
Yeah.
Vogel might be able to correct me.
No, you're right. You're right.
But again, visually, the Earth City or the Earth Kingdom, like it looks incredible. Action wise, absolutely looks like it's going to be fantastic. Again, getting to see Paul Lee as Uncle Iroh, getting to see this intensity in Uncle Iroh, which is not something you see a ton of in the show. Like he is a lighter character who is able to espouse this wisdom to Prince Zuko. I like the kid who played Prince Zuko. I mean, the brief glimpse that we saw of him, I was like, oh, he gives me Zuko vibes.
Is he the villain? The kid who's going against him? Is he okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the trio, we'll see. I like Aang. I think there was probably potential to ratchet up the intensity a little bit, but again, we're seeing this much of it. It is Katara. That's the one that I'm like, Sokka in this seems a little more sardonic, whereas Sokka in the show is more of a goofball. But I think that works when you're making that transition from animation to live action. Katara for me right now is the big question mark. But again, we heard two lines. We heard two lines of dialogue. There is plenty of room for this chemistry to come through. But yeah, I'm pretty much where Vogel is. But my heart is not as invested as his.
But also, I mean, I do think you make a good point. And just to be really clear, and again, I'm going to go watch this trailer like 10 more times today after watching it here on our computers. But that was the only part that gave me pause. It didn't throw me out to the point that I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like it could go either way still. That was the only part that gave me pause. And for that to give me pause when they showed us so much, I mean, just the creature effects, the CG, the special, like Momo looks great, Appa looks great, Nyla, the Shirshu looks great, like all of that. I think I believe we saw a super fast shot of Azula, Zuko's sister. But yeah, like John, I'm actually kind of to your point, the part that makes, because one of the things that I loved the most back in the early days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe when people were really getting into it was being a comic book fan who knew these characters, going to see the movie with my friends who weren't comic book characters and seeing them get excited about these characters and these stories that I've known for years. And so kind of like your reaction out of all three of us is the one that has me the most excited because you're 100% right. Like Aang is a reluctant hero. Like that is a big part of the journey and his struggle of what to do and how to become the Avatar. And I just think that the story itself of Avatar is so strong that people like you who never saw the animated series, who this is going to be their first experience, I really hope that you kind of come away from it having that. And it does seem like there's a good shot of that happening. Like the more that we've seen, the more that I think, oh, maybe this is going to make you a true lover. Like you're going to get it the way that we got it. So I'm excited to see how you feel about it.
I think it's going to be interesting to see the boulders they've got to push up the hill. Because it's got to get people like me who maybe skipped the animated series because it wasn't something that we necessarily felt called to watch, but all our friends tell us it's great. Then we watch this live action series, and if it gets us hooked, then we'll watch the animated series. But also the animated series, people like you both of you coming in with your ideas of how this should go or this should be, because they're going to make adjustments. As you said already, guys, the performances seem a little bit different than what you've seen in the animated series. So is that going to work? Seeing Iroh have different approaches to certain scenes as well. So I wonder if that's going to work for some of you all. But yes, coming out of it for me, I'm massively excited for this. It feels, as I said in the trailer reaction, a little Avengers-esque, and I like that old school feeling of it. We've all been talking about the old phases and how much we miss the old phases of Marvel. This feels very much right in the sweet spot of Marvel when the phases were all working, and I like that vibe coming out of this. And number one, again, I'll stress this doesn't feel like we've seen from other adaptations slapped together just to make money.
Right.
This feels like there's legitimate money and artistry and talent behind this, and that they want to get it right. And that makes me excited to see it more than anything else.
I mean, I think they've known that. I mean, talking to some of my friends who work at Netflix, I mean, they've known from early on, like this is one, and it's like, once they got the okay, once they got those rights to do the live action version of this, I think from day one, it was like, guys, we can't we can't fuck this up. Now that doesn't mean they're not going to, but they definitely went in with the intention of, and I think, you bring up, we've been talking about the Marvel stuff, Marvel, Warner Brothers, DC, Lucasfilm, Harry Potter, Warner, like all of these big brands, the sweet spot for them is what we're talking about right here, is that they want something that the fans are going to embrace, but that also people who are not fans feel is accessible to them and want to jump on board. And that's what made Marvel so great back in the day. Right. It's why Mandalorian was so huge for Disney and Lucasfilm when some of the other Star Wars stuff, whether it be like Bad Batch or a lot of people's complaints about Ahsoka, was not. Mandalorian was that show that non-Star Wars fans gravitated to because they felt comfortable watching it as along with their Star Wars fan friends. So I think that's the goal for Netflix, is to have this show that obviously everyone who is a lover of Avatar already is going to, anxiously await February 22nd. But the win is going to be when all of us Avatar fans start getting text messages from our friends being like, okay, so wait, I really like this. This was super cool. Explain to me more about this. Don't spoil me. Like all of those fun questions. When that's how you know that you've really caught the geek zeitgeist and really gotten something going.
Yeah, seems like something we're going to review for sure. Shannon, final words on this trailer before we wrap up?
I mean, I'll be curious to see what they do in terms of long term. Like, is their season 1? Is it book 1? Because is it 4 books, Vogel?
3,
and then Korra is 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be curious to see, is this going to be a 1-to-1? Like, are they going to lean into the serialization? Season 1 or book 1 definitely had sort of those standalone adventures, which is normal for an animated series. So I'll be curious if they lean into that serialized storytelling, or if we do get those sort of one-off adventures that you did get in the Nickelodeon series.
Entertainment Weekly just did an article to come along with it, and they said that they've changed the storytelling. One more thing, real quick. Well, no, Entertainment Weekly said that they changed the storytelling. Like they're telling all the stories, but they've kind of altered things or told things a little bit differently to fit it all in there. Based on the trailer, it looks like season 1 is going to be most of book 1. I think if they are in success, I wouldn't be surprised if when they get to book 2 and book 3, which are a little bit more packed, they split those into 2 seasons. Yeah, I could see this being like for them, I could see this comfortably, even if they fit all of book 1 into season 1, comfortably being like a 5-season show.
Well, we'll find out here as the first 8 episodes drop on February 22nd. And I'm certain we're going to figure out a way to review this, whether we go episode by episode or we do a whole massive review of all 8 episodes. We will see here, but we will let you know as soon as we can. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this trailer reaction and this episode of the Geek Buddies. Shannon, what do you have to tell them?
Yeah, if you'd like to follow us on social media, on Twitter, it's at @geek_buddies, on Instagram at @the_geek_buddies. If you'd like to follow me on social media, on Twitter, it's at Shannon_McClung, on Instagram at Shannon the Geek Buddy. If you would like to follow Mr. Vogel, it is at MKToon. If you would like to follow Mr. Rocha, it is at The Rocha Says.
Mikey?
And when you're doing all those things you like, here's what else you can do. You can smash that like button below. You can subscribe to Johnny's Outlaw Nation page. Leave your comments below. What did you think of this trailer? Are you a hardcore lover of Avatar? What did you think? Never seen it before? What do you think? Let us know below. If you're listening to us on a podcast, leave us some stars and some comments so we go up in the rankings. And as always, the best thing you can do is retweet this video, post it on your socials, send it to your friends, and tell them to hang out with your buddies, the Geek Buddies.
There you go. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well, and I'll talk to you next time on a brand new episode of the Geek Bites, brought to you by the
Geek
Buddies!